use hands and feet, silky carved if I don't say. You might think, what handicrafts is the bus master doing at this time? And unexpectedly, the master spends so much effort just to be a bed leg. Let's not talk about how valuable it is to make something, but this ingenuity is very commendable. That today, we walked into this carpentry workshop in Bataille. Look at the masters here, how to turn corruption into magic. To make this characteristic woven bed, because it uses traditional craftsmanship, the frame of the bed is naturally made of wood. Although the type of wood the workers cut at this time is unknown, but just looking at the quality of the cleansing material is still good. Basically inherit this long strip. Then it will be carried out by the master here. Undo roll source processing. The master is skilled in using such hands and feet. I guess few people can do that. With the violent collision of the turning tool with the wood, it was still angular material just now, soon turned into a cylindrical shape by the car. And close behind is to do a shaping process on it. Because the workload of a day is no less than dozens or hundreds of percent, the master is in the process of shaping. The operation appears to be very skilled. The size and structure are almost determined by the naked eye in full screen. The whole process, the rest of the operation looks very silky. Less than a year after decompression, one material will be cancelled. And before the official coloring, the master's operation, do you know what the intention is? After the water stains on the surface are basically dried, the master will fix the bed legs to the lathe, again, accompanied by a simple polishing. Then the master took the paint and started coloring. Compared to common painting processes, this coloring process is really rare. Those who observe carefully may find that master coloring is not just a simple layer, it's layering. As for why it is handled this way, actually finished, it's all for the pattern carving at the back. Finally, after multiple rounds of processing by the master, solid wood bed legs instantly look a lot higher. I just don't know this coloring process. Will it fade later? At this time, I came to this corner of the workshop. The master in front of you. I'm carving patterns on the legs of the bed, and it was completely unexpected. Although the bed legs are not big, but do the math. There are quite a few places that need to be engraved. Look at the master's method. I guess I won't be able to be so skilled in a few years. When engraving, it basically scrapes off the surface paint, expose the underlying color. In terms of the strength of the method, it must be grasped in place. It is estimated that there are no 400 or 500 knives in a bed leg. Do this step again. Then the master here. Perform a punching operation. Install the frame beams in place, by the way. And here, the frame of the bed is sort of done. And then there's the woven mattress, for beauty. Not only are the ropes used in weaving different colors, and also pay attention to the matching of a pattern, unlike our bed here. This kind of bed here, eventually leave a space like this at one end. How do you feel? This woven bed is handmade by the craftsmen of the bus. How? As long as you can't imagine. I dare not repair it without the bus. The rear axle of the tractor in front of you. I'm ready to retire just because I pulled a little more. However, when I think about it, this is a new 5-hand car I just bought. Plus, save as much as you can. Find a local restoration master. Prepare to let the master bring him back to life. A master is not a master. Give a fix in minutes. The asking price is not high. 2,000 rupees is enough. Let's take a look. This master, how to fix this axle perfectly. Come to the lathe here. Secure the axle with calipers. And then we start the machine. Visible. The master first cancels the section of the axle. Leveling, because it's not difficult, so it can be done in minutes. Section car is good. Next, adjust the tools. Pin on the side piece. The master here is mainly to tie his car a little bit. Easy to splice. But how? Let's sell it here first. About the thickness of the driveway, the master compares it with a caliper. Seems to meet the requirements. And then, the master's operation is a little difficult. You read that right. The master is preparing to manually remove the thread. The chopper cuts so easily. The process seems simple. The difficulty of it is only understood by those who have done it. After repeated processing by the master, this beautiful thread on the side is done. Then the master brought a prepared steel pillar. The treatment of this steel column. One approaches its diameter lane to the axle. The other is to consider how to splice. Because the car in front is already well funded. Here it is. It must be trying to get out of the internal thread. Connect with it. Because of the diamond, so drilling a hole in the old iron can be said to be within your grasp. Drilling was completed in less than a year. At this time, the master began to make internal threads. The process is still silky smooth. How many times to trim the thread number? The next step is to verify the master's skills. Not bad, not bad. The size is just right after tightening both. And then there's seams along the bottom. Carry out electric welding treatment. A spark with lightning. Should I say, the master not only has excellent processing technology, welding technology is also in place. And the next thing is, based on the axle shape the spliced steel columns. This process can be completed in less than a year. At this moment, there is almost no sign of splicing. This half, car number follows. It is to undo the remaining half. The idea is actually similar to the previous one. Also open the hole first, then fix the 2-in-1 dose. After pressing with a hydraulic press, the next step still needs to be targeted, new splicing for welding. At this point, the pair is finally repaired. Only the last car glue is missing. According to the profile of the axle, still less than 9 car numbers a year. Finally, the thread is pulled out at this position. A broken axle is perfectly repaired like this. What do you think of the repair technology of the Busmaster? Like a pie, I'm actually making a pot, although he is called the pot, but not the kind of pot used for eating. Today we will walk into this workshop of Batai. Let's take a look at how the workers here are. Hand rubbing satellite pot. In order to allow locals to watch HD for free, TV worker rubbing satellite pot by hand. The first thing to consider is the choice of materials. It doesn't look like old iron. It should be aluminum, because aluminum has better electrical conductivity, can better reflect the focused signal. I believe that the old iron who has used the satellite pot knows it. Workers are marking with compasses. The visual diameter is 1.2 meters. Mark drawn. Immediately after that, it has to be cropping. As the saying goes, 1 is born, and 2 are cooked. You can be a master 3 times. Should I say, the master is very skilled in using scissors. Judge. The precision of the cut can definitely be controlled beyond 1 micron. To increase efficiency, the master cut it like this first, then cut off the extra corners. The whole process is incredibly silky. One will be better in less than a year. Efficiency must not be said. Round aluminum plate is good. The next step is the master, and the master's subsequent operation, as we saw earlier, said he was tall and bold. I don't think you're against it. The aluminum plate is fixed. As the machine starts, the train room suddenly swiped and sat down. This scene is still the same old saying, looks dangerous. It's actually not safe at all. Once the aluminum plate, there is a high probability that the master will want that. The old irons inevitably want that. For the shaping, the master continues the tradition. The operation is fierce and skilled. Press against the edge with a crowbar-like tool. Slow force. The satellite waves have a hemming effect. Finish this step. Master, move the tool against the center of the original, then slowly squeeze in. Although the master's operation is very dangerous, but let's see, it's actually quite decompressive. With the help of molds, shaping a satellite pot is actually quite fast. It can be done in less than a year. The worker here at this time is responsible for the drilling of the installation hole. 5 or 6 round bowls fell together. Top shelf, and then the drill. It's not difficult to open a hole for a while. It's okay to have hands. And this room over here, the spray booth. Here it is. This 50-year-old guy is in charge of spray painting and coloring. Although the workshop does not have high technical requirements for workers to spray paint, but the requirements for physical fitness are just the opposite. Painting done. Wait here for the paint to dry, by the way. And this room in the workshop, workers are making satellite pots, other accessories used on. Just cut and weld. Completed. Roughly these things. Although the overall technical content is not high, but it's all about authenticity. Affordable. How do you feel about this satellite pot, rubbed by iron digging hands?